You would be okay putting a nicotine patch on a kid?
Heck yeah.
Critics say that you are spreading dangerous misinformation when you talk about this stuff.
It is very dangerous for Big Pharma. There's one nutrient called nicotine in tobacco products. There are 15 man-made addictive chemicals called pyrazines in every single one of them. There is no more important message or video that should be seen than this one for the whole world. It could single-handedly protect all of humanity.
This episode might get me in some major trouble. Ooh, surprise! I said we weren't going to put this on YouTube. Well, we kind of did and kind of didn't. So let me just explain what's going on here. Hello, I'm Alex Clark. This is Culture Apothecary, my podcast. Now, normally we upload every single episode to YouTube. Once in a while, I have an episode so spicy that the YouTube overlords would hate to see it. So this episode, we kind of did some finagling. It has been so wildly popular that I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this. It pains me not to have it on YouTube for the YouTube people. Is there any way we can do some surgery on it and edit out all of the super juicy stuff and just keep the parts about nicotine so that I can put at least the partial interview on YouTube? So that is what we have done today. This is part of my amazing interview with Dr. Ardis all about nicotine and COVID. Unfortunately for you, you are going to have to go watch the rest of it on Spotify at Culture Apothecary if you want to see it. So this is the short mini version of this episode. The full thing is available on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Please thumbs up this episode. Leave a comment with your thoughts because wow, this episode is going to melt your face off. And I love when that happens. I learned so many new things. I want to get everybody I know on a nicotine patch, including your kids. So I'm Alex, and this is a manipulated, no, that's not the right word, shortened version of Culture Apothecary. I'm talking to Dr. Bryan Ardis, one of the world's most influential and respected voices in alternative medicine. He's a crusader for truth and justice in healthcare and has become a beacon of hope for those seeking natural, holistic healing in a world often dominated by controversial treatments and policies. In his groundbreaking best-selling book, Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies, Restoring Health and Hope for Humanity, Dr. Ardis exposes decades of hidden agendas and deception by the U.S. government and the pharmaceutical industry, including an explosive chapter about the hidden health benefits of nicotine. Yes, today's episode is all about nicotine and how everything you've ever been told about it has been a lie. It might be one of the best natural cures we have for everything from Parkinson's to arthritis. Share this episode everywhere and follow the show on Instagram at Culture Apothecary and me at Real Alex Clark. Please leave a 5-star review, especially because the medical establishment will hate this episode and probably threaten to remove it. Please welcome Dr. Bryan Ardis to Culture Apothecary. Nicotine pouches are all the rave. You're seeing RFK popping them. You're seeing Tucker Carlson talking about them. So what is going on with nicotine that the public doesn't know?
Yeah, isn't it exciting to watch all the nicotine talk out there when all of us have been literally programmed and brainwashed to believe that nicotine's nothing but bad for you? Why are all these people using nicotine all the time? So yes, RFK Jr. is sitting in the Congress Capitol building of the United States, got his Zen nicotine pouches in his hand. So nicotine has been a very, very hot topic, and it's been very polarizing for a lot of people, right? A lot of people, of course, are going to be triggered by the idea that nicotine is solely addictive. We have been programmed literally to believe that nicotine is nothing but a drug that is very addictive and only found in tobacco plants and tobacco products. And unfortunately, Alex, that has been a very fraudulent idea, and information has been withheld from all of us for millennia. We have been told that nicotine is only in tobacco plants and that nicotine is only addictive and causes cancer outcomes or risk for ill health. That's all you've been told. In fact, anything that has tobacco in it has to come with a label, right? That says, warning, this product contains nicotine and addictive substance. That's the quote required by the FDA on everything that contains tobacco that has nicotine in it. The irony is this, as I've been able to educate people around the world for the last 3+ years about all the reality and truths published about nicotine, that smokers have this weird paradox, this anomaly where smokers were the only people that did not get COVID.
Were they really?
Did not get sick with COVID and did not die from COVID. They're still, to this day, we're in 2025, they're still the least individuals of all demographics. You can create any demographic you want, just gender, ages, races, ethnicities, it doesn't matter. The smoking group is the least effective, 100%. The least affected persons on earth were those using tobacco products to ever get sick with COVID, PCR test positive for COVID, end up in a hospital with COVID, or die. It's 1.6% of all smokers worldwide got COVID. It's the smallest demographic of all of them. And the actual preventative agent for them to get sick with COVID was actually nicotine in tobacco. So you've all been told nicotine is just an addictive substance linked to cancer from tobacco products. That's all you've ever heard your whole life. And then, for example, when I tell people that in January of 2023, Mark Lemke, a research scientist, conducted a study on only long COVID patients. And that what they discovered was all long COVID symptoms, 100% of them, whether you still to this day struggle with, or anybody out there watching, if you're struggling with loss of taste and smell, ringing in your ears, tinnitus or tinnitus, brain fog, heart palpitations, hypoxia, low oxygen levels, or you just don't feel good in general, and you haven't since 2020, they found that every single long COVID patient and every symptom that persists for years is completely eradicated with a 7 milligram nicotine patch if you just wore one every day for 6 days.
You're kidding.
And within the third day, 50% of all of their suffering was over and all their symptoms were gone. By day 6, 100% of all their symptoms were eradicated that they had suffered with for up to 2 years, trying every medication you can think of that can be prescribed by a medical doctor, trying all physical therapy. Nothing touched it. Now, that's Mark Lemke's work. I showcased that actual research study in our book called Moving Beyond COVID-19 Lies, Restoring Hope and Health for Humanity. And that's a bestseller right now on Amazon and has been for, 8 months now. But in that book is a chapter titled Just in the Nicotine of Time. In 1994, in April, the United States Congress invited the 7 CEOs of all biggest tobacco giants in America to come in and swear under oath one thing. We want all of you to line up, state your name and who you work for, put your hand to the square, and under threat of perjury, the senator says to all of them, is nicotine addictive or not? And all 7 of them raise their hand, say their name, and say, nicotine is not addictive. You want to fix the COVID-19 vaccine injured? You better look at nicotine first. It's not the only solution. It should be your first one. If you have long COVID, you should be using nicotine to beat it. If you get acute COVID, nothing is better than nicotine, period. And it comes in patches, pouches, mints, obviously tobacco products if you want to use those, even though we don't recommend that, but you can. Organic tobacco is what I'd recommend if you're going to use it.
This is the problem. There's a lot of other chemicals and crap in a cigarette. That's what makes them bad. But you're saying it's not the nicotine in the cigarette that's the bad thing.
2016, that's exactly 22 years later, Harvard publishes a research study after evaluating 7 million pages that they got from the FDA of R&D, research and development papers from tobacco giants going far back as the 1970s. And they wanted to know, is it truly nicotine that makes tobacco products addictive from the FDA's own documents? And they published all of their findings in 2016. And the title of their paper reads, Nicotine alone does not cause the addictive nature of tobacco products.
What in the world?
And then they tell you what did. And then they show you what it is. They show you that the FDA has a list on their website of the amount of chemicals that the FDA has approved for the tobacco industry to add to their tobacco plant products. It's a total, Alex, of 599 chemicals made by man.
What?
And they have that number in the paper. 599 chemicals can be approved by the FDA to be added to all tobacco products. And of those 599, there's 15 exactly that are called pyrazines, Pyrazines, pyrazines. And Harvard lists the chemical structure name of each of the pyrazines currently in tobacco products. And Harvard wrote, not Dr. Ardis, Harvard wrote, not Turning Point USA, Harvard wrote that the FDA should start regulating pyrazines because of their addictive nature. That's what's responsible for the learning behavior, the addictive nature of all tobacco products. And the FDA has allowed them to put that in tobacco products since 1970. There's one nutrient called nicotine in tobacco products.
Mm-hmm.
There are 15 man-made addictive chemicals called pyrazines in every single one of them.
So what's their long game?
Make you addicted to their product to sell more.
Good grief.
That's why the tobacco industry did it, was to sell more product. If we can get you hooked on our product using pyrazines, great. And this is not unlike other artificial processed foods or other foods. Sugar, add it to anything, it makes it addictive. This is why sugar is so pervasive in our food supply.
Mm-hmm.
It's to make everything addictive, and it makes you want more. And you're going to buy more, which is good for the company, good for the tobacco products and the companies. But the FDA, how did the FDA benefit in 1994 to lie to everybody, knowing that since 1970, they have been allowing tobacco giants to add 15 different chemicals that make tobacco products addictive that are not nicotine? Why did the FDA say in 1994 a label has to go on every addictive tobacco product that reads, this product contains nicotine and addictive substance?
I mean, I'm guessing they're getting a big check from somebody.
Amen.
Who is it?
Big Pharma. Everybody in America has been programmed since we've been born, Alex, to trust all drugs only if they're what?
FDA approved.
FDA approved. To get society's approval, to go buy the product, we have to get the FDA's approval. Big Pharma buys the FDA's approval for all of their drugs. In fact, I don't even know, it's like 30 years ago, the FDA stopped having to do all the review process for all drugs. If you just paid a lump fee up front, drug maker, you want to pay us $10 million up front, we'll automatically allow you to start selling this right now. Put it on the shelves if you believe and can prove in your own research studies that, trust us, must not be biased at all.
Oh, right,
if
yes.
you could just tell us this will provide a maximum benefit to our people in America, this drug, if it can be in the pharmacies right now, you give us a $10 million upfront stipend, we'll just go ahead and approve it.
Which hopefully this is going to be ending now with RFK.
Oh, yeah, let's talk to RFK. RFK, please make sure they take all drug commercials off TV.
That's what I've heard that is one of the top things
that's going to be numero uno. Why is
Yeah.
America the only country its size that is allowing this to happen? Advertising directly to consumers drug products.
And you talk to other people, I mean, that live in Europe or whatever, they come to the United States, they're on vacation, they're like, what the heck is this garbage? This is freaky.
Yeah.
It's spooky stuff.
They've been not only lying to us about nicotine, they have been withholding information intentionally from you, me, and everybody in America and around the world about nicotine. First lie that's being withheld from all of you is, do you know, besides tobacco plants, what's the plants that have the second highest amount of nicotine on Earth?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes are actually the third highest containing nicotine plant on Earth. Do you know what the second is?
Eggplants.
Eggplants. Do you know what the fourth highest containing nicotine plant on Earth is?
I don't know that
White potatoes.
White potatoes?
Yeah.
Do you get the same benefits eating a lot of those vegetables as you would have doing a nicotine pouch, or totally different? I mean, it's way less.
So in your nicotine agents that you can buy that are commercially made, pouches, patches, gum, suckets, mints, the dose of nicotine in all of those is way more concentrated and higher dose than you're going to find in plants. In fact, in a cigarette, there's more in a cigarette than you find in a tobacco leaf. So every single cigarette has 1 milligrams of nicotine in it. 1 milligram in a cigarette. That's not how much is in just one leaf of tobacco. You have to concentrate and chop it up and mix it in a little bit, pack it up and get as much nicotine as possible into that substance or into that product. So this is no different than with tobacco is the highest containing nicotine plant on Earth. The second highest are all your nightshade vegetables, which you mentioned, eggplant, tomatoes. Third is white potatoes. And then it's cauliflower, celery, bell peppers.
But they're not slapping a label saying nicotine is addictive. Watch out for your cauliflower.
My question is why hasn't the FDA made the whole world aware that all of these plants that you're eating every day, oh my God, and think about it, Alex, seriously? When I hear parents tell me, I would never listen to Dr. Ardis. I would never put a nicotine patch on my kid with pneumonia or the flu or COVID. No, I don't want to be addicted to that. My very next thought is, wait, you're afraid of nicotine? You're afraid to give your kid nicotine? Seriously? You give them nicotine every day when you take them to Chick-fil-A and McDonald's and get them French fries and ketchup. It's 2 doses of nicotine every day. You are not afraid of nicotine. You just didn't know that you've been loading your kids up with nicotine every day.
So hang
feeding
on a
them
minute.
these foods.
You would say for a child, you would be okay putting a nicotine patch on a kid?
Heck yeah.
Explain this to me.
Wait, why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I'm learning for the first time. I mean, my mind is being blown here. I mean, I'm open to it. Tell me about it. Like, that isn't dangerous. It's not going to make them like throw up or something.
Are potatoes and French fries and Frito-Lay potato chips dangerous?
No, but you just told me that those had way, way less nicotine in them.
Yeah.
I haven't ever tried a nicotine patch yet because people, mostly guys in my life are all into it. And they're like, oh, if you do this, like, you're probably going to throw up at first. It's going to be so intense. So I'm just thinking about a child. How would you do this appropriately?
The patches, the reason why you'll only hear me talk about patches primarily and recommending patches. Patches are what was used to cure people of long COVID symptoms. That has been peer-reviewed, published. They only sell 3 sizes of nicotine patches in America, 7 milligram, 14, and 21. The 7 milligrams is the smallest you can buy. Now remember, I just mentioned one cigarette has like 1 milligram. So the smallest nicotine patch is like 7 cigarettes at once. But that patch only delivers that small amount of nicotine over a 24-hour period. It's slow release into the body versus sucking on 7 cigarettes at once.
Okay.
Sucking on 4 milligrams of nicotine gum in a tablet. You're going to get all 4 milligrams in about 5 minutes into your gut, and you're going to feel nauseous, maybe.
You think your coffee's clean? Think again. Most of it is filled with mold and toxins and tastes like it was brewed in a little butthole or just a gas station bathroom. You want it to be clean enough for your gut and your butt. Wait, I will explain. Taylor Duke's Wellness Organic Coffee is mold-free, toxin-free, tested organic, and tastes rich, smooth, and slightly chocolatey, like the barista was a Buddhist monk during the day and a Michelin chef at night. It's that good. You don't want it to taste like butt, you just want it in your butt. Seriously, some people use this for coffee enemas. That's how pure it is. Only Taylor Duke's Wellness. If you're gonna drink something every single day, maybe make sure it won't slowly kill you. Just a thought. Go to TaylorDukesWellness.com, use code AlexClark for 10% off for whatever you're using your coffee for. That's between you and God. That's TaylorDukesWellness.com, use code AlexClark for 10% off. Finally, coffee that loves you back, doesn't gaslight your gut, and makes your morning feel a little less apocalyptic. Let's be real. Eating healthy is hard when life is busy, but my Harvest Right freeze dryer has totally changed my game. I meal prep once, and then I can store homemade nutrient-rich meals for months, even years, without preservatives, without stress. I freeze dry roasted veggies, smoothie ingredients, even entire grain bowls. When I'm on the go, I just rehydrate a prep meal and boom, healthy food, zero effort. It's like having a backup plan for every weeknight dinner emergency. Even snacks get an upgrade. You can freeze dry apples, strawberries, and mangoes. They're my go-to for guilt-free snacking, and your kids are even going to be obsessed. No added sugar, just real fruit. If you're tired of relying on takeout or watching produce spoil, this is the upgrade your kitchen needs. And talk about a money saver. Take control of your meals at harvestright.com. That's harvestright.com. If you've ever wished for a space where you could finally feel at home in your values, this is it. YWLS, the Young Women's Leadership Summit, is the largest conservative women's conference in America, and we're meeting in Dallas on June 13th through 15th. Hear from women who are shaping the future like Leigh-Allen Baker, Riley Gaines, Lila Rose, myself, and more. Don't miss this moment. Go to YWLS2025.com, use code ALEX for 25% off. Come get fired up in Fed Truth. You want to see Brett Cooper? YWLS2025.com, code ALEX. Where do you buy nicotine patches?
So nicotine patches, there's a few companies that we recommend right now. Primarily, we recommend the Rugby brand, which is bought online. It's from Amazon. Rugby is the cleanest brand that we recommend.
For a child, like what sorts of illnesses are you saying, like, I would try a nicotine patch?
That's the next question I was waiting for. This is how we know we have a good interviewer here, right? We're like, okay, we got a good host who can actually think clearly, not just run down a list of questions. She can actually think for herself. I think the FDA had to lie about nicotine because nicotine by 1994 was known to be a cure for these various chronic illnesses. The nutrient called nicotine, not the drug. The FDA called it a drug. It's actually a nutrient. What is nicotine known to medical science to be a preventative nutrient of and a treatment for to help cure and reduce symptoms of? The first one are all neurodegenerative diseases. Parkinson's disease can be prevented and can be cured and its symptoms reversed with nicotine alone. If you go online right now and look up medicalnewstoday.com and then write dietary nicotine Parkinson's, The actual title of the article reads, "Can dietary nicotine reverse or prevent Parkinson's?" My first thought when I read this title was, who eats cigarettes?
But they meant the pouches?
No, dietary nicotine. I had to look up what is dietary nicotine.
Oh, vegetables.
It's all the veggies. I learned in the article from Medical News Today where all the nicotine is in these veggies that you can eat that can prevent Parkinson's because of the nicotine.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Guess what else I've learned? That nicotine is known to medical science to be a curative agent and a preventative agent for Alzheimer's.
I knew you were going to say that next. I had a feeling.
So the dementia related to Alzheimer's, could you believe that nicotine, I have learned in the last 3 years, is known to science. Nicotine by itself is called a nootropic. Nootropic means a brain stimulator. It actually turns the brain on. It's amazing. So people with dementia, they're having a hard time finding their words, finding their names, finding faces, finding memories. You want to turn the brain on, give it some nicotine, it'll do it. It's like caffeine, except better, actually. The third is multiple sclerosis. In my book, Moving Beyond COVID-19 Lies, in the nicotine chapter, I actually share the research link to a study out of Sweden. During the pandemic, it ended. It was a 20-year study, and they wanted to know, compare the general population to all people that use snuff, where they put tobacco in their lip, suck on it.
Dippers.
Those dipping tobacco products in their mouth in Sweden, they want to know what's the risk of those individuals using those tobacco products every day as snuff, multiple times a day. We're going to look over the next 20 years, what's the risk factor for developing MS and being diagnosed for MS for the general population versus those using tobacco products. They thought it would be skyrocketedly higher in the tobacco using group, higher amounts of MS being diagnosed. After 20 years, they found they not only had the lowest risk of developing MS over the entire general population, the individuals that were in the trial who did more than they were asked to, they were just asked to dip snuff. They found out 20 years later, the individuals who actually started smoking cigarettes and dipping snuff, those people had the lowest of all risk factors for multiple sclerosis.
Now, see, critics say that you are spreading dangerous misinformation when you talk about this stuff. What is your response?
It is very dangerous for Big Pharma. And yes, you've been warned. And yes, you're on notice because I'm sick and tired of your lies all the time. Nicotine by itself as a nutrient has 4 times the amount of anti-inflammatory benefits than any singular inflammatory reaction. So if you're living with chronic migraines, arthritis, anything that ends with itis, I-T-I-S, that means inflammation of, nicotine turns it off. And Alex, people around the world walk up to me and my wife Jane and go like this, "Dr. Ardis, I saw your presentations on nicotine. We decided to buy nicotine patches like you said, and we cut them, as you said, I tell them all to cut them into 1 milligram sizes.
Okay.
And then you slap it on the joint.
That is causing you issues.
The arthritis joint. If it's this joint, put the nicotine patch right on there. If it's your hip joint, stick it on there. If it's your knee joint, stick it on there." Alex, people around the world walk up to me, clamoring off of stages I come off of, in line for hours, wanting to just cry to me to tell me that within 48 hours of putting a nicotine patch on any joint that they've had arthritis in for years, all pain gone within 48 hours, just like you said. Well, I didn't say this. I'm just repeating what the scientists have all known for decades and have published, that your medical professions weren't taught in med school. You're not being told in the mainstream media. Nicotine is also published to be a curative agent for ulcerative colitis, which is a autoimmune digestive disorder, where they actually cut out parts of your colon when they say it dies. It is published that it can cure that. Did you know that nicotine also can cure the symptoms of hypothyroidism in women and men?
I have Hashimoto's.
You should be on nicotine, just like my wife.
Now, here's my question. Taking nicotine or whatever, is that a daily thing? You are every day you're having it or what?
Yes, every day I do.
Is it ever too much? Like, I mean, you're like nicotined out. I mean, this is your life. Like, it's never ending.
It can be too much, yes.
Okay.
Just like
so
water.
Do you take breaks?
I could drink too much water and die right now in an hour.
But I mean, are you every day no matter what always? Or do you take breaks like you're a month on, month off?
No, I do it every day.
And your body doesn't get used to it? Tolerant of it, I mean?
No, I think your body will get used to a certain amount.
Okay.
And then it could do better with more over time if you wanted to. But I actually wear a 3.5 size milligram nicotine patch every day.
Okay.
Every day. And I have for 3.5 years now. And I will for the rest of my life until I die. And when y'all come to my funeral and it's all over the news that the nicotine guy died, you're going to be able to look in there and see I have a nicotine patch on. It's going to be amazing. Maybe by then I'll have my own brand of nicotine patches like Tucker Carlson has his own.
This is a missed opportunity if you don't already. You got to start that.
You know, if people are spreading all over rumors all over the media that Big Pharma must own Dr. Ardis and must be paying him, and the nicotine industry must be paying him to do this.
What?
We're going to say this on Turning Point USA. I need a nicotine sponsor for the Dr. Ardis show and the Healing for the Ages conferences. We're looking for you. We can't wait. It's amazing. We haven't been approached yet, and I know we're helping you sell billions of dollars worth of nicotine products. It's
Literally.
amazing. It's amazing.
This is crazy. Okay, what about diabetes?
It's actually published that nicotine increases beta cells of the pancreas's production of insulin in a type 1 diabetic. And we have had type 1 diabetics pick me up and take me to events, security people, who have been type 1 diabetic for 20 years, who have told me for the first time ever, their insulin needs are going down.
Whoa.
And their A1Cs are coming down just using nicotine gum or nicotine pouches for 2 weeks.
Okay, personal question for you. My dad just died of glioblastoma. My question is, yes, thank you. Is there anything to suggest that nicotine can shrink tumors or fight cancer?
Glioblastomas were proven in 2021 to be cured by nicotine alone in 3 days.
Is there anybody with glioblastoma that there's evidence that this happened to them?
Yes. In fact, there's several medical doctors, oncologists, some in Spain, some in South America, that are using nicotine now because of my presentations and showing these research studies where they did test this against glioblastomas and other cancers, and they are finding remarkable results.
So their tumors are shrinking?
Yes. In fact, glioblastomas was proven. I show you in the book. They actually were able to create a glioblastoma in 72 hours and then reverse it and shrink it by half in 72 hours with just nicotine.
Now, if you're talking about something serious like a brain tumor, how many milligrams a day of a patch would you say they should wear?
I always recommend to people to start slow with nicotine because nicotine is going to be releasing poisons out of the body. It is a major detoxing nutrient.
So do you like pee and poop a lot on nicotine?
If you take, little girl, if I gave you a 14 milligram nicotine patch, you're going to have diarrhea galore. You're probably going to be vomiting. I would never do that to you up front.
So this is what everybody's been warning me about. That's why I've been too scared. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. So I always recommend to people, if they're going to start using nicotine and they have a chronic illness, I recommend the 1 milligram size, either gum. They don't even sell a 1 milligram gum. So don't call Alex going, he said 1 milligram gum. No, they only come in 2 and 4 for gum and nicotine. So Alex, let's explain to the audiences, what would you do if Dr. Ardis said 1 milligram of gum for a week is what you're going to start with, but they only sell 2 milligram gums? How would you get 1 milligram of nicotine out of a gum?
Cut it in half?
You bite it in half.
Okay.
It's amazing how many people around the world ask me how to do this.
Oh, brother.
You just bite it in half. You got one. If you have patches and I say 1 milligram, you're going to cut them into 1 milligram sizes, right? And do that for a week and then go up to the 3.5 milligram size.
Okay.
And I would stay there for a few weeks and then go up to 7. Every research study, Alex, on all the diseases I just mentioned are using 7 milligram nicotine patches.
Okay.
One new one daily for just 7 days. Nicotine's also proven to help reverse and improve all personality traits and actions of autistic children.
I was just going to ask about autism.
And adults. And you put a 7 milligram nicotine patch between their shoulder blades. It's also a cure for myocarditis in 3 days. And it actually reverses all the scarring on the heart caused by myocarditis by day 14, but you only have to use the nicotine for 3 days.
That's huge.
By day 14, the whole heart's cured.
Who is done with the gaslighting? The world is lying to women. It tells us that motherhood is bondage, that femininity is weakness, and that our value comes from mimicking men. But we know better. This summer, we're taking it all back at The Last Stand, a one-day festival in Southern California that's basically the Coachella of conservative Christian truth bombs. I'm talking powerful worship, inspiring speakers, and the kind of community that you've been craving. I'll be there, along with Riley Gaines, Heidi St. John, Victoria Robinson, Seth Gruber, David Harris Jr., and more fearless voices. There will be thousands of families rising up as the remnant, ready to reject the chaos and rebuild on God's design. We're coming together to be inspired and reminded why God put us on earth for such a time as this. If you're a mama who refuses to let the culture raise your kids, if you're a dad who's tired of sitting on the sidelines, if you're hungry to see revival, you belong at The Last Stand. Go to thelaststand.com, use my code ALEX10 to get a discount off your tickets. See you on June 21st in Southern California, because families who stand on truth will shape the future. So I've started calling 8:30 p.m. my sacred mocktail hour. Bring out my cloak. No one talks to me. No one interrupts. I'm in the kitchen, dim lighting, jazz playing like I'm a retired heiress with an herbal apothecary. I pour in my tart cherry juice, a scoop of magnositol, and top it with the fizziest sparkling water I can find. But the most important part, the MVP, is my glass straw. You gotta drink this through a glass straw. Now, what the heck is magnositol? Well, it's magnesium and it's strawberry flavored from Utsi. I cannot tell you how your sleep will be so haunted if you do not use this, because this is actual sleep support. It's not a melatonin bomb that knocks you out like a tranquilized bear. It uses magnesium bisglycinate to chill your body and inositol to calm your racing thoughts. It doesn't just help you fall asleep, it supports a balanced mood and clear mind during the day too. No grogginess, no fog, just vibes and REM cycles. If your bedtime routine needs a glow up, you're gonna go to Utzi.com, that's UTZY.com, use code ALEX for 20% off magnositol, okay? It's UTZY.com, code ALEX, magnositol. It's strawberry flavored magnesium powder. Sleepy Girl mocktail season is all year round. If nicotine is as powerful as you say, could it then be a universal antidote for bioweapons or engineered diseases in the future? Like,
Yes.
are we sitting on a cure for future pandemics?
Yes. In Spain is a research institute called La Quinta Columna. And they have a researcher scientist there named Rafa Calvin. Go online and please type in Rafa Calvin, nicotine destroys nanotech video. In the video, there's a 3-minute clip that went around TikTok, hundreds of millions of views already. This guy and the research group took originally Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines and wanted to dry out the solution and see what was in it. And they find and published all this nanotech and graphene oxide was inside the shots. This guy decided he was going to take dental anesthetics and they wanted to dry them out over 30 days and just see what was on the slide. And they found thousands of microchips, nanotech. And they show you in a video all the nanotechs in these shots and injections, including dental anesthetics. And then Rafa Calvin explains, I'm now going to do a test and an experiment, and I'm going to see if Dr. Bryan Ardis' theory is correct. He takes organic tobacco leaf. He shows us. They actually boil water and for 10 minutes put tobacco leaf in it and just steep the water. Then he takes the water and he drops it, videoing the nano chips under the microscope. He then drops the water that has nicotine from the tobacco leaf in it. He drops it on there, and you should watch in this 3-minute clip, thousands of nanotech are just dissolved by the nicotine. The nicotine in the water goes through the medium and literally grabs the microchip and dissolves it, then goes to the next one, dissolves that one, goes to the next one, dissolves that one. And not me, La Quinta Columna's research facility said, as showing the video of all nanotech being dissolved by nicotine, as I said, you should be looking at, they said, please share this video all around the world. There is no more important message or video that should be seen than this one for the whole world. It could single-handedly protect all of humanity.
So let's imagine that RFK Jr. gets nicotine research funded, okay? What is the one nicotine study that you would beg him to greenlight to kind of blow the lid off of its benefits?
Number one would be heart disease.
Okay.
I would like heart disease studies because we can take people who have AFib, they can't get their heart rhythm to be normal, and we can actually have them do a tobacco leaf, steep it in water, take the water, and then put their feet in it, and within 5 minutes, tachycardia disappears, AFib disappears, like forever. Or forever now that we've seen for the last couple of years, it just doesn't come back. Nicotine is releasing poisons out of the heart and correcting arrhythmias. It's really incredible to actually watch. So I think addressing heart issues like myocarditis, tachycardia, AFib, that would be miraculous studies. I looked it up and I wanted to know what all viruses does medical science know that its construct, its design, targets nicotine receptors. Alex, did you know that rabies is published and known by science to be cured with nicotine because it targets nicotine receptors? Also, HIV is also cured with nicotine.
What?
Did you know that schizophrenia is cured with nicotine?
Oh, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? All these I put in the book, by the way. They're all in there. I'll show you all the research studies. I didn't prove this. All the scientists did. I just collected it and gave it to you because it's so mind-blowing and amazing. Did you know that every single influenza virus family member, there's 29 different influenza viruses in case you didn't know. Did you know that all of them target nicotine receptors? Guess why I wear a nicotine patch for the rest of my life?
Because you don't want to get sick ever?
Because I don't want to be a victim of the influenza annual poisoning scenario they call the influenza season or flu season. I don't want to have to ever feel like I need to ever have the discussion about a flu vaccine in my entire life.
The study I'm guessing that you want him to do is looking at like just immune system benefits?
I want him to investigate all viruses known and published by science and how they target nicotine receptors and if nicotine in tobacco products and these vegetables we talked about is the cure for all of them.
So when was the last time you had a cold?
Jane, when's the last time I had a cold?
Over 5 years, his wife says.
Over 5 years. I haven't had anything at all since I started wearing a nicotine patch every day. Nothing, zero. A sniffle, fever, hay fever, nothing. I've never had nothing. It's just, I just wear it every day. It's awesome.
Let's say you're in an elevator with another doctor and they think that your nicotine stuff is bogus. You've got just an elevator ride to convince them that this is like one of the greatest health things that we have at our fingertips. What are you saying?
What do you believe most MD's viewpoint of nicotine is?
That it's addictive.
If nicotine is addictive as it says it is, my very first thing would be like this, and I do it all the time. Have you read the study from Harvard?
Okay.
In 2016, where they said nicotine is not responsible for the addictive quality of tobacco products. And have you read what they said is? And do you think you know more than Harvard?
Yeah.
Seriously. I would say go look at the research. The next thing would be is, great. If you think nicotine is so addictive, my very next thing would be to them. Have you ever eaten an eggplant or a tomato? And then my next question would be this. I'm not even joking. Have you ever been to a church function or a corporate function and they had celery, vegetable trays, cauliflower trays? Did you ever eat any of it? Yes. Did you ever wake up with night sweats or feel the next day at work that you had to ask your boss for a cauliflower break or for a tomato break? No. Why don't you think you did that? I don't know. I just ate the tomato and never thought of it again. Yeah, but it was loaded with nicotine. And if it's as dangerous as you say it is, why do you keep giving all these kids all of these potato chips made with nicotine? Why do you do it? If nicotine is dangerous, why do you keep feeding it to your kids?
I think that's great. And that's also a really good pitch for us to kind of, in a summary, summarize like everything we learned in this episode today with you to our friends and family that are going to think we're nuts. My audience is mostly women 25 to 35 who are moms of young children. And they're going to hear this stuff about putting a nicotine patch on their kids. And they're going to be like, okay, this is wild, but like I'm interested. I know them like the back of my hand. And the question they're all going to be in my comments and DMs asking is, well, how young? What is like, when can I start trying this on a sick child? What would your answer be?
No one on earth has to give their kids nicotine. I'm not saying you have to do that. But if your kid was sick and you knew nicotine was something that might be a cure, why don't you figure out how many tomatoes you need to feed them? How many potatoes you need to feed them? Cauliflower. Why don't you start feeding them those vegetables that have high amounts of nicotine? If you're worried about giving a nicotine agent like patches, gum, suckets, I have never said you had to do that. But you do need nicotine. And so go eat the nicotine or consume it in some commercial product as they're designed. An oncologist called me and told me that their granddaughter had whooping cough for 6 days straight and it wouldn't get any better. It just kept getting worse, actually, as she was treating this child. And this was just a few months ago. And I just happened to call them that night. And they said, I'm 1 hour from taking this grandbaby to the ER because everything I've tried has not worked. And I said, okay, what would you recommend, Dr. Ardis? And I said, do you have your nicotine patches on you? And she goes, yeah. And I said, good. Cut your nicotine patch in your purse and cut it in a 1-inch strip and put it on. How old's your kid? This is for the audiences. 6. How much do they weigh? It was like 50 pounds. Okay, great. I would do a 1 milligram nicotine patch and slap it on your kid. Within 5 minutes of putting that 1 milligram nicotine patch on, all of it stopped.
You're kidding me.
And she never had to take the kid to the ER, slept through the night, fever all broke instantly, all over with.
Whoa.
But had been trying for 6 days straight to get this mucus, wet cough to end, and it wouldn't end. So with kids younger than 12, if you're going to do it, remember, ask your doctor if nicotine is right for you.
Yeah, this is not medical advice.
This is not medical advice. This is Alex's advice, okay? All right, so.
He's kidding.
So this is what we recommend. Anybody younger than 12, I recommend 1 milligram nicotine patches.
Okay.
Patches. Just slap it on their skin. Put it between their shoulders so they can't pick it off. That's what I would do. If they're younger than 2 years old, maybe you don't do it at all, but 2 to 12, 1 milligram nicotine patch. Anybody older than 12, 3 milligram nicotine patches is what I would start with if you're sick or ill with an infection. That's what I'd start with. Did you know nicotine and tobacco are proven to kill all parasites?
No, I did not.
Nicotine has this amazing ability found in plants to cure the body of all kinds of problems. You asked at the very beginning of this, who benefits from this lie? The FDA does.
Mm.
And Big Pharma does. Why? I just named Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, MS, ulcerative colitis, all arthritis, myocarditis, autism. I also mentioned glioblastoma tumors.
Yep.
Do you know how many drugs are being prescribed to all the people being diagnosed with those conditions?
Hundreds.
Billions of dollars worth every year of drugs being approved by the FDA, siphoning money and lobbying money and bribes over the FDA is keeping all those drugs being prescribed to people when there is a curative agent known for all of them, or at least an agent that would improve their symptoms mightily. It's already been proven for decades. Why did the FDA have to scare the crap out of all of us about nicotine? Because it's an antidote to so many problems Big Pharma wants to get you hooked on drugs for the rest of your life.
You know what I realized? Nothing on this planet takes longer than a nail appointment. I mean, I love my nail girl, but if I don't bring a snack, I am one hangry hippo. Basically, just a French tip away from blacking out. That's why I always throw a bag of masa chips in my purse before I go. They're the perfect car snack, the perfect I didn't eat before my nail appointment snack, and the perfect my salon only gives out mints snack. Now, obviously, during the manicure portion, I'm not really using my hands, but during that pedicure, I'm scarfing them down. Masa chips are made with only 3 real ingredients: organic nixtamalized corn, grass-fed beef tallow, and Redmond sea salt. That's it. No seed oils, no sketchy additives, no artificial anything. And because they're cooked in beef tallow, a fat that's been used in traditional cultures forever, we need healthy fat, they actually nourish your body instead of inflaming it like most chips. They're crunchy, they're sturdy, they're flavorful, and they don't fall apart in your guac. You will finish the bag. And yeah, they're a little more expensive because they're using the highest quality ingredients and it's a small family business. But honestly, if I'm gonna pay for a snack, I want it to be something that fuels me, not something made by Big Chip and soaked in industrial sludge. So if you want a snack like your ancestors without giving up flavor, grab Masa Chips and use my code RealAlexClark for 20% off your first purchase at masachips.com. That's RealAlexClark for 20% off masachips.com. My friend's teenage daughter recently asked if she could start wearing makeup, and naturally, her mom came to me for help picking something safe. Because let's be real, most drugstore brands are packed with synthetic dyes and fragrance. That's when I introduced them to Adele Natural Cosmetics. They're exactly what I'd want a young girl to start with. Non-toxic, high quality, and beautifully effective. Their moisturizing foundation is perfect for beginners. It glides on, it never cakes, and it blends like a dream. And the cream blush gives this fresh, dewy color without any weird glitter or sticky formulas. I love the shade Petal. Honestly, it's luxury makeup made with real organic ingredients that you don't have to Google. If you're shopping for a first-time makeup user, check them out. Visit AdeleNaturalCosmetics.com, use code ALEX for 25% off your first purchase. That's AdeleNaturalCosmetics.com, code ALEX for 25% off your first purchase. Okay, so somebody wants to work with you. They're like, please be my doctor. Are you taking patients or no?
No, I retired in 2018, but I do work directly with advocates, medical doctors, nurse practitioners who all see patients currently and follow everything I've done in practice for the last 20 years.
Okay, so where do they go to find them?
You go to graithcare.com, and anybody out there who's wondering about cancers and nicotine and want to talk to the oncologists that are actually using it to cure people of different cancers, oh my goodness, go to graithcare.com. Dr. Silva, Silva, does exclusively from Spain all consultations through graithcare.com.
Okay.
And you can go to graithcare, graithcare.com. All the people that are there do advocacy work to help people manage their health and improve their health.
What is your book again for people?
Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies, Restoring Health and Hope for Humanity. And you can find it at Amazon. If you go to Amazon, type in COVID-19 Lies book. And so there's 6 or 7 now current fraudulent books that appear to be mine, but they're not.
Oh, no.
People are trying to sell my name and likeness. It's a white book with the entire world on the cover in different colors. So I want to say something though to you.
What?
In this interview.
What?
Okay. This is why I think Turning Point USA, this interview could be monumental for saving the country. Alex, did you know that within 4 weeks of me releasing Watch the Water documentary telling the whole world that nicotine's the antidote to all things, do you know that within 4 weeks, 5 countries in unison came out on a Friday and said that they all have new national health agendas that they wanted to announce for their countries? New national press releases. And they announced that they're going to be banning permanently all nicotine agents commercially available to their citizens and all tobacco products. America's one of them. RFK, make sure they don't do this. America, Joe Biden said, will abolish all access to tobacco products and nicotine agents by the year 2030.
You're right. He did say that.
Yes, he did. So did Trudeau in Canada. So did the Prime Minister of New Zealand. So did the Prime Minister of Australia. And so did the King in England. King Charles started this 2 years ago with this claim for England. Anyone born after January 1st, 2009 will never be able to buy a tobacco product or a nicotine product ever again in history. And by the year 2030, there will be no access to tobacco products or nicotine agents by the year 2030. Do you want to know why, Alex? All countries during the biggest health crisis the whole world's ever been confronted with, why did they all break for a week to announce a new health agenda? That we're going to stop selling nicotine products.
Listening to you and getting freaked out, I guess.
I just said I'm going to wear a nicotine patch for the rest of my life because I don't want to get sick. Every single future pandemic that has been declared or named, Rift Valley fever, Congo hemorrhagic fever, Ebola, Marburg, bird flu, West Nile, it doesn't matter. They're all only have one thing in common. They're all viruses. And all of them, you are going to be told, world, you need a vaccine for.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to know why all the governments of the world were forced in unison to announce you are going to be banning all nicotine agents forever by the year 2030? Do you want to know why I think they're doing all of that?
Because they want to be able to keep pumping out vaccines.
They need more pandemics. They need more vaccines, and no one's going to buy into the vaccine agenda in the future when they realize all the published articles for the last 5 years that smokers were the only one immune to COVID-19.
This is literally so insane. I mean, this stuff, the corruption, I feel like I'm learning new things every day, and it's just worse and worse and worse than I thought.
It is. So they're lying to you to sell you drugs and to sell you vaccines.
If you could offer one remedy to heal a sick culture, and it could be physically, emotionally, or spiritually, what would it be?
Wear a 3.5 milligram nicotine patch the rest of your life. Every adult in America. I'm telling you, you will destroy the whole influenza season shows up every year. No, it doesn't. Common cold shows up. Nope, it doesn't anymore. You don't have to worry about your rabid dog neighbor dog biting you. It's amazing. All right, so that would be my recommendation.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Ardis. This episode might get me in some major trouble, but I feel like it'll be worth it.
We're going to be hanging out somewhere, locked up somewhere.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You and me, we're going to be roommates in the gulag.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time.
We're coming for you. Get Mo.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Definitely a face-melting episode. I really want to try a nicotine patch and see how I feel. If any of you try it out, share your experience in the Cute Conservatives Facebook group. Make sure to leave a 5-star review and tell others in your opinion what the best episode of Culture Apothecary is that they should start with. We're on a mission to heal a sick culture. Twice a week, new guests bring a unique remedy every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to Real Alex Clark on YouTube and follow me on Instagram at Real Alex Clark. I'm Alex Clark, and this is Culture Apothecary.